everyone, this is topic 8 in pre-algebra. Use sampling to draw inferences about populations. So in this topic, the topic essential question would be what are the ratios and rates and how are they used to solve problems? So if you look at the topic overview, we have only 4 lessons, but they're not easy. We're going to start with populations and samples, and continue with drawing inferences from data and make comparative inferences about populations and see more examples in the last lesson. And if you look at 3 ACT math modeling, raising money, or the topic project, STEM project about the golden path, you can also apply these skills in real life as well. Let's look at page 475. We're gonna get ready for topic 8. So we're gonna review what we know. These are the vocabularies that we need to review. These are the set of skills that we need to review for the topic. So see if you remember all of these things from the previous topics. First, let's review the vocabulary. So out of these 4 vocabularies, center, data distribution, and statistical question, and variability, what would be the correct term from the box to match the definition? Let's start with number 1. A blank is how data values are arranged. What describes how the data values are arranged? Is a center, is a data distribution, statistical question, variability. Yeah, data distribution tells you how data values are arranged. What about the part of a data set where the middle values are concentrated? Middle values are concentrated. So if you have different data, where is the middle value called? Where it's concentrated? Yeah, the center. So that's the center of the data. And then a blank anticipates that there will be different answers when gathering information. So when you're gathering information, you want to ask a good statistical question. Okay. And lastly, a variability. Variability is a measure that describes the spread of values in a data set. So now let's look at the math skills that we need to review. Pause the video and see how many you can answer by yourself. So review mean, median, range, mode, inner qualifier range, mean absolute deviation before we get started. Okay? Okay, are you ready? So from this data, 9, 9, 14, 7, 12, 8, 11, 19, 15, 11, they are not in order. So it would be helpful if you list them in order first so that you can figure out all these types to arrange data. So 8, we have 1 8, 2 9s. Oh, we have 7 in front of 8. And then let's cross them out. And then the bigger one is 2 11s. And then we have 12. We have 14 and then 15. And then we have 19. There we go. So what is the mean? How do you find the mean? Mean is the average of everything. So how do you find it? 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 11 plus 11 plus 12 plus 14 plus 15 plus 19. And then you divide it by how many numbers we have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Divided by 10. And you will get 11.5. Check your answers. 11.5 should be your answer. Okay. What is the median? Median is a number that is right in the middle when you listen from the least to greatest, right? So 7 and 19, start counting from the outer part. 8 and 15, 9 and 14, 9 and 12, 11, 11. What do we do with the median if we have two median? We find the average of those two. And the average of 11s is just 11. So turns out your median is 11. Okay, that is your answer. What about the range? Whoops, what happened? Okay, the range is the maximum minus your minimum, right? So 19 minus 7 will be your range, which is 12. Okay, please check your answer. All right, what is mode? Mode is the number that is the most frequently appearing in your data. So we have 9 that is repeated, 11 that is repeated, and they're both repeated twice. That means we really can't just pick one number that is the mode. In this case, both 9 and 11 are our mode. Okay? And that's okay. All right, number 9, interquartile range. So in order to figure out the interquartile range, you need to draw the box plot of this. How do you find the box plot? By figuring out your medians and your quartiles. So your median will be 11. Okay, median is 11. What is your first quartile? Okay, you want to figure out the first quartile. So because your median is 11, you're going to start counting from the lower half. So 11, 7, 9, 8, and then your 9 is your first quartile. So Q1 is 9. And then Q3 would be 11, 19, 12, 15, and then 14. So if you draw the box plot, you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's move to the right. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Whoops. Let me do that again. So if we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 on the number line. We have 7, which is the minimum, 19, which is the maximum. Q1 is 9, and then median is 11. Q3 is 14, and then that is your whisker. This is your box that goes through your medians. Okay? And so your IQR, if you forgot, is Q3 minus Q1. Okay? Q3 minus Q1. And so that would be 14 minus 9, which is 5. And that is your IQR. All right, number 10, mean absolute deviation. So first, what's the first step? You need to figure out the mean, but we've already figured out the mean, right? Which was number 5, 11.5 is your mean. And now we're gonna start subtracting your mean to each of the values. So calculate the distance of each point from the mean. So absolute value will give you your positive distance, 7 minus your mean, 11.5. Absolute value 8 minus 11.5, absolute value 9 minus 11.5, and then do it again. There are 2 of these. And then you have 11 minus 11.5. Let's just write this again. Okay, and then 11 minus my 11.5, 12 minus 11.5, 14 minus 11.5, 15 minus 11.5, 19 minus 11.5. Okay, and then 11 is also repeated. You can't just discount the repeated numbers. They also follow into your mean. Okay, and then what do you do after you figure out everything? You add them up and find the mean of these distances from your points away from your mean. Right, so now I have found all these distances. We're going to add them all up. 4.5 plus 3.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.5. Wait, 1, 2, 3. And then 2.5 plus 3.5 plus 7.5. All of them divided by 10. And that should give you a nice little number of 2.8. Okay, so the answer for number 10 is 2.8. All right, so please review all of these skills for determining each statistical measures. If you're ever unsure or if you need more practice, please go back and practice from the last topic so that we can move on to this topic. All right, let's look at data representations. We're going to make each data display using the data from problems 5 through 7. So we already drew a box plot. So that could be the answer for number 11. Here. So that is the answer for number 11. Dot plot. How do you make a dot plot? You're gonna put dots for each data and on your number line. So 7 and then 8, 1 8, 2 9s. If your number is repeated, you just put it on top of each other. So these are the answers. Please check your answers for 11 and 12. The last question, number 13, which is not a statistical question that might be used to gather data from a certain group. A, in what state were you born? B, how many pets do you have? C, what is the capital of the United States? D, do you like strawberry yogurt? So which question does not have an option in your answers? Which question has one correct answer? So if you just have one correct answer as an answer, that is not a statistical question. So let's look at part A. In what state were you born? There are 50 states in America. You have 50 options that you could answer this question from. So that is okay. B, how many pets do you have? You can say 1 pet, 2 pets, 3 pets. You have different options. So this is a statistical question. C, what is the capital of the United States? There is one answer for this. So C would be the answer. And do you like strawberry yogurt? Yes or no? You have 2 options. So that's still a statistical question. That's fine to gather data. All right, so check your answer. If you were ever unsure or if you couldn't answer any of these questions, please go back and review because you need these skills for topic 8. Okay, so the next, in your next page, we have a language development. We're gonna fill in the graphic organizer for each vocabulary word and write your definition using your own words and illustrate or give an example of each vocabulary so that you can keep track of the vocabularies that are used in this topic. Okay, let's start with inference. What is the definition of inference? So you can write in your own words, but a sample answer given is a conclusion made by interpreting data. Okay, a conclusion made by interpreting data. So maybe you can draw here, okay? You can draw a glass to represent trying to interpret from your data, maybe book, or this is your data, okay? And then you have a conclusion, aha. Or you can draw your own and give an example. All right, what is the definition for population? Do you know what a population is? Yeah, like it's how many people are in a certain group of or in an area. So the entire collection of people or even items or even events that are being studied. So you could draw a group of people here. Okay, or items. You can draw items like pencils, erasers, or events that are being studied. This could be like a marathon event. I don't know. So yeah, draw your illustration or give an example of population. A random sample in data means you need to take a sample from a random group. So a sample in which a member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. So for an example is if you're gathering information about transportation after school or transportation to and from the school, do you want to ask people that are not in school? Maybe that's not the right group. But what about, let's give a different example. What if you're voting? Or what if you are gathering information about some marketing groups? So if you have, for example, if you have a population, you don't just want opinions from the girls or the guys, right? By the gender. You don't just want the data you don't want answers from just a certain age. If you're talking about, which kind of ice cream do you like? Or, that could apply to everyone. You want as random as possible. So if this represents a population, you want, and this is a boy, and that's girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, boy, girl. You want a random one. So like you don't only want to pick the boys out or the girls out. You can pick this one boy here and the girl here and then a boy here. So like spread your data out. So it has to be random. Whether old or young, needs to be random. Okay, representative sample. Representative sample is when a sample that accurately reflects the characteristics of the entire population. So it's supposed to be a sample, but it might be if it's a good sample, it could represent the whole group, right? So yeah, if you're taking samples or surveys from different states, there are different ethnicities in America, and in each state, maybe you want to get it from those different groups, or maybe like randomize the age groups, or maybe randomize the occupations. So depending on your survey, you want to find a good representative sample. So you can draw your own. How could you draw or give an example for a representative sample? Okay, what is a sample? Sample is a subset of people, items, or events from a larger population. Okay, so yeah, we are not going to be able to survey all the people in the same group or different groups or everyone in the entire world. Like that's not practical. It's not possible, and it takes too much time. And maybe that's not what you need to be doing. You need to be gathering the best data as efficiently as possible, and then you need to start making inferences from data. Okay, so sample is a subset of people, items, or events from a larger population. Valid inference is an inference that is based on a representative sample of the population. So maybe I can draw, if that's a big whole group, sample is just few people that represents the group. Valid inference is from the data. I can draw an example of a dot plot and say from here, you can write conclusion, okay, or inference, or anything that you can relate using the data, any relationships you find. Okay, so that was the intro for topic 8. Please review these vocabularies and review the skills in the previous page before we get started with topic 8. See you guys in lesson 1.